Hello and welcome to what is the third episode of the WhoTubeShow in season 2. And tonight I've got another Doctor Who fan as usual, and his name is Mark. Hello, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Yes. How's everybody out there? Hope you're all good.
I'm not sure they can answer, but maybe in the comments they might answer. So, Mark, first and foremost, I said to you first as soon as you come on, I said, "What a background." Tell me a bit about that.
This is a labour of love, really. I moved into this house in 2010 and I just wanted like a Who room, but it had so many issues, and it's just as well because it took me years to obtain this amount of rolls of Doctor Who 1980 console room wallpaper. So what you're looking at there is the roundels and the columns, which apparently are worth gold dust, but they only come up once on eBay in a blue moon, and it's taken me years to collect enough to do the room.
Wow. So it's not a fake background like mine. It's a real one.
This is real. Yeah, this is actual wallpaper. Yeah.
Wow. I need some of that myself. I'll have to start eBay and see if I can find it. Right. Tell me a bit about yourself and your sort of history with Doctor Who. How long have you been a fan? What, how did you become a fan? Things like that.
Yeah. I became a fan through my dad, really. He was obviously he'd watched everything from Hartnell onwards. He was there at the beginning, so he was already a fan. Doctor Who, I don't remember much of Tom Baker's era when I was tiny, because I'm born in 77. I do remember it being on all the time, because my dad was catching up on the latest ones. And I think Arc of Infinity is the first story I remember watching with Peter Davison and Omega. And we sort of got hooked because I had two younger sisters, but me and my dad used to just watch it every week. And then they started bringing out the VHS videos. And I'd only known Peter Davison. I didn't know there were others. So he was a teacher, and they let him borrow the video recorder from his school because they were so expensive back then. So he used to bring it home at the weekends. He'd rush out to Smith's or somewhere and buy a video. And the first one that he brought back, I think it was one of the first that came out, was Robots of Death. And then Revenge of the Cybermen. I suddenly started watching Tom Baker, and it was like, whoa, what's this? This is even better. So, I got hooked from then. So I would have been about 8 or 9.
Well, I was 5 when you were born. And I was still 2 years off watching Doctor Who at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you've been a Doctor Who fan for a long time. Did it scare you when you first used to watch it?
You know what? It didn't. No Doctor Who episode ever really scared me, except for years later when I was about 11 or 12, I think, when they brought out Deadly Assassin.
Okay.
And I watched this video, thought, this is a bit different. And it was the first one where I genuinely felt scared watching it. And I always remember it's the bit where he gets his foot stuck in the rail tracks. The Matrix, and he can't pull it out, and this train starts tearing towards him with the guy in the gas mask. It was all very weird. But that was the first time I went, ooh, that was a bit scary.
Did you ever hide behind a sofa?
I didn't, although my nan did offer that I could when I used to watch it at her house. She'd always say, there's a gap here. We used to play behind the sofa. So do you want to watch it from here? It's okay. Everyone else did. But I was too intrigued. I didn't want to watch it from an awkward position. I was like hooked. It's like so I wanted a good view.
Well, a lot of people are scared of them, so you did well to watch those. In the last episode, I was talking about this being scared, and he started watching when he was about 4, and he got scared of it, but his parents were making him watch it. And I said, that's lovely. It was it's different people. I think I hid behind the sofa once, and it was for a Dalek episode, and I don't know which one it was. But my mum
A
says
lot
I.
of people do say that about Dalek episodes, don't they? It always seems to be those particular ones they remember hiding from. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was, and my mum just tells me I did, so I have to believe her.
Of
She,
course.
and I'm going to ask you some about some of your favourites now, and we do this in two parts. So I'm going to ask you a few favourites, like your favourite companion, etc. We'll talk a bit about that, and then I asked you to prepare top fives, didn't I?
You did,
Which
yeah.
we'll go into, which I think is I did it for the first time last week, or last episode, and it went down quite well. I think people like charts and countdowns and stuff. My son, he's forever ranking episodes. So every time he watches an episode, he puts it in his ranking, and I think people just like it, don't they?
They do. It's good to have a little look. You forget about someone's eventually. So they think, oh, wow, I love that one. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, new entry at number one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start on who's your favourite companion?
I can't see beyond Sarah Jane Smith. She was just everything a Doctor Who companion should be, wasn't she? She was a transitional one as well between the third and fourth.
Yeah,
And she wasn't just there to scream. She had a bit about her. She was someone that the girls could get behind as a sort of role model as well.
yeah,
She was brave. She was inquisitive, and she was also quite funny when she wanted to be. She had the humour that worked with Tom Baker very well.
yes.
Certain moments, especially I think like the Ark in Space, where he's got his hand stuck in the door and she puts it through, and they have a little look at each other and then look at Harry and walk
Yeah.
out.
Well, I'll move. I think we'll ask your favourite spin-off next, because of course Sarah Jane's had two.
She has, yes.
But not saying that's your favourite. We all have our favourites. So there have been quite a few, and I just want to ask your favourite and perhaps why.
I did like the Sarah Jane Adventures. I mean, I didn't see much of the school one to really sort of see how good or anything it was, but I watched Torchwood. Quite enjoyed that. Saw it as a separate thing, really, rather than a spin-off as such. But I think the Sarah Jane Adventures captured the essence of what it was like when she was playing the part back in the 70s and 80s. I think it was of that sort of thing, and because he could bring in main characters from the show as well,
Yeah,
and it didn't look weird that there would be a cameo of Joe Grant or the 11th Doctor or someone. It all fitted in with the sort of the canon series as well, and her on her own just proved she could do it on her own.
yeah, yeah.
The
She,
setup was
she
nice and family friendly and everything. It was lovely.
It was, wasn't it? And she fell into that role at school reunion. That episode, she fell back into her role of Sarah Jane Smith so well. It was as if she'd never been away. And you think, how many years was it between her last episode and the school reunion? It was a long time, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, I did meet her once. She opened the Who shop at Liverpool's Albert Dock once, and I was dressed in in Tom Baker's scarf, and she thought that was hysterical. But she impressed me as well by saying that she has she had versions of all of her DVDs in French because she could speak French and understand it. So she used to like the French versions to see what they did different.
Oh, right.
That was quite
Interesting. Yeah, she was. I said, I think yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday. The last episode. She was a big loss, wasn't she? So,
She was, just not long before she died. I'm part of an acting company on the Wirral called Hillbark Players. And they've
okay.
been doing Shakespeare since the 60s in a big outdoor arena. It's hugely popular. And she was in the first ever Hillbark show. She was Hero in Much Ado About Nothing. And we'd written to her to say, why don't you come and watch one after all these years? And she was up for it. And unfortunately, she got so ill and she died.
Oh, bless.
So I wrote the obituary in the Hillbark thing for her, but it wasn't quite the same as having her there.
No. But I mean, I only hear good things about her from people that have met her. Unfortunately, I didn't meet her. I would have loved to, because she too was my favourite companion. Right, favourite writer, and we'll do this in two parts. So your favourite writer of the modern era and your favourite writer from the classic era.
Ooh, wow. The classic era is quite a difficult one because there were some really, really good ones. Terrance Dicks, I think, was one of my favourites because he just knew Doctor Who backwards. There was no one who got it more than he did. And he actually came to one of the conventions that I helped run a few years ago. And the question was asked of him, have you got any ideas for the new series? And what were you doing? He said, I've got loads, absolutely loads of ideas, but they've never contacted me.
No,
They've
it's a
never
shame.
asked me. And we were all speechless. We're like, well, you're a treasure trove of Doctor Who. Why aren't they asking you? And then he died. And we were all just like, oh, for goodness sake, come on, BBC, what are you doing?
They missed out on that one. They did, I think.
They did. They really did.
It would have been good to see what he could produce with modern money, if you like, modern technology, CGI and stuff like that. His imagination could have run wild, and he could have done whatever he wanted.
You watch something like Space Babies, and you think, now, what would Terrance Dicks have put instead of that? That would have
Anything.
minds for a starting series,
Yeah, anything, I think. And modern writer, favorite modern writer.
I am quite a fan of Mark Gatiss' writing. I know he's a bit of a controversial figure at the moment for some things he said, but I think a lot of his writing is very good. The Unquiet one, the Dickens one, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that was him. I think it was him. But yeah, every sort of now and then one of his will get thrown in, and I think, oh yeah, you can sort of see a difference when he sort of had to go at it. I was surprised that he wasn't considered as a new showrunner. Really, I think someone of his background. Maybe it's to come. Who knows?
Who knows? I just go back before I ask you the next one. You mentioned about a convention you helped run. Do you want to give it a shout?
Yeah, it's called Who at Hoylake. We host it every year. We sell out before half the year's gone. But it's run by a group called Fans Like Us. We're all volunteers, most of whom are NHS workers. But Erica Leah runs it, and she's been running for 25 years now. This is her last one. She's passing the mantle over to my good friend Andrew Jolly. But she's had lots and lots of famous names, especially from the classic series, come down, and they all love it. They come back every year, and it's
Who on the Wirral?
It's on the Wirral in West Kirby.
Yeah.
It's jumped around between Hoylake and West Kirby, but a lot of the actors love to come down because it's such a relaxed and different, and it's really for the fans. We're not a profit-making Comic Con. We put these things on for the fans. Any money we make goes to charity at the end of it. So we all do it as volunteers. My job really is just to chauffeur around everybody. And last year it was taking Sylvester McCoy, Fraser Hines, Michael Troughton all around the pubs of the Wirral.
Nice.
It's just fun.
My last guest also goes to Who on the Wirral, and I will be there this year. Erica's organised a room for me and my son, so we're going to record some short episodes, like 5-minute things with as many people as we can. And we're also going to record a full episode with Erica.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do a live broadcast around the convention itself.
Oh, they're a good bunch. You're in good hands with Erica. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna have quite a lot of fun.
Oh,
so look out for us when you're there.
Will do.
Favorite version of the theme tune?
Oh, it's the end of Tom's, beginning of Peter's, I think, with his Starfield, and yeah, I've always liked that one. Although I've got a guilty pleasure, which is the Jeff Love themed Doctor Who. When I was a kid, someone gave me that as a Christmas present. The Jeff Love versions of famous TV shows, and I like the Doctor Who one of that. But no, it would definitely be the opening of Peter Davison's. I think is a nice.
And your favourite version of the TARDIS? I'm talking about interior here.
Oh, You know what? I've always thought the modern ones didn't quite work, and then we got to shooting, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. Oh, that's nice." But actually, funny enough, my favourite one is a bit random. It's the Paul McGann one.
Okay.
Very gothic, very sort of. I'd love to think that if I had my choice of a console room, it would be something like that.
Yeah.
Very sort of gothic arches and a bit of stained glass here and there. I love that.
Yeah, it was certainly different. It was certainly different.
Was.
Right, we're going to go into your top fives now,
Right.
and this is slightly different than what I've been doing in the past. So it worked last time. Let's just hope it works again. Let's go for, first of all, your top five doctors.
Top five doctors.
Should we
Well,
start at number five?
that's number five. Yeah, that's fine. It would be Peter Capaldi.
Okay.
I think we needed him. I don't think he got to work with the best material, but he was a classic throwback for me. He was sort of he instantly believed he was the Doctor. He'd been on screen for seconds. It took me a long time to get Matt Smith in my head as the Doctor, for example. For Jodie, I still never did, but for Peter, it was instant. It was like, yeah, I can believe you're the Doctor. It's like when John Hurt did his little cameo, he instantly thought, yeah, that's the Doctor. There was
Yeah.
something about him, and I think he was brilliant. I think he's as good as any of the classic series.
Yeah, and the way he dressed as well was very, very classic Doctor, wasn't it? It was,
It was, and there was something slightly John Pertwee about the idea he was a caretaker in the school for a
yes,
few episodes, and he was like a double persona thing. I rather like that.
yeah.
That
Number four.
Number four, I'm going for John Pertwee.
Okay.
Because when I started getting these DVDs and well VHS as it would have been, I started to get a few things like Death of the Daleks and that sort of thing. And I thought, oh, he's a very classic style, and his sort of interaction with Roger Delgado as the master of those episodes, and the sort of family idea of unit. When I was a kid, I loved that. I actually loved the brigadier and the unit setup, and even though we didn't get to travel as far as he would like to, he did have all the gadgets. And as a young kid, it was just like, wow, I really enjoyed his time.
What did you make of Bessie?
Loved it.
Really?
So, to this day, I still want one of those. But the idea of the Doctor having a little old car, I thought just sort of suited the dress and everything, suited what he was wearing. It was just sort of classic. The Doctor's been pulled from like a different era on Earth, but stuck in this one.
Yeah, he was. Number three.
I've gone Patrick Troughton for number
Okay.
three because I think we owe him a lot. Because if he hadn't worked, we wouldn't be talking about this now, would we?
Absolutely true. Yeah.
And I think it's a hard thing to say, but I still think, looking at everyone who's ever played the part, I think he was the best actor who ever
Yeah.
played the part because he was the sort of, he played it as the cosmic hobo, but he was intelligent, he was funny, he was stupid. He had
Yeah.
all of it going on all at the same time, and there was something particularly alien and different about him, and I loved that.
Yeah. It was different, and like you say, we do owe him a lot because, like, if he hadn't have worked, like you say, we wouldn't have it now, and that's a massive thing, massive moment in Doctor
It
Who.
was.
What number are we on to now?
We're on to two now.
Number two. Who
I've
we
gone
got?
William Hartnell,
The original.
the original, and some might say the best, but again, we probably owe him as much as anything, don't we? Because if he'd have been terrible, it never would have gone past the next few episodes because it was only a filler originally, wasn't it? So, but I just thought he couldn't have been better cast,
Yeah.
and he wasn't a lovable character. He was the grumpy old man, and he didn't know how to take him sometimes, but he had the warmth that came with it as well, and you totally believed he was an alien and he had this time machine, and he just dismissed people so easily, but equally he knew what was going on. He was far more intelligent than he ever appeared to be, and
Yeah.
I just think his Doctor was an absolute rock on which to build the entire series from then on.
He
He
was.
was absolutely brilliant.
I think when the first person you mentioned, Peter Capaldi, he had a lot of William Hartnell in him. I think.
Yes, he did, didn't he? Yeah, and it
Yeah.
would have been lovely, wouldn't it, if he was still going when he wanted to bring him back for the meeting the first Doctor part as well. That would have been lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. Number one, the big one. I think I know what's coming here.
Well, yes. I mean, could only really be one, can't there? Hey,
Brilliant.
a wonderful Tom from down the road, from Scotty Road. Yeah,
Yeah,
the brickie that got the job because he wrote the BBC demanding one.
he is special.
I mean, even now, whenever someone's doing a cartoon, they want to throw a Doctor Who reference in, it's always Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Because no matter where you are in the world, one little picture of him and everyone knows who you're talking about. We all know the character.
Yeah.
Because he got it so spot on.
He
had so much about him, and he was engaging to watch. He was just transfixed. Whatever what episode it was, doesn't matter. He'd hook you for the whole story.
Yeah.
Even in later ones where he was running out of time by then, but there was something so perfect about the Doctor's ethos that surrounded him, and no one's ever quite got it since. I don't think.
No, I tend to agree with you there. He's special. If we ever get somebody like him again, and we're going to be very, very lucky people.
We will. I mean, people have said that, especially the ones who grew up with the old series, they say, well, Doctor Who doesn't excite me anymore. And some people say, oh, I get really excited about this episode. And I thought, I never did. And then Day of the Doctor came on. Matt Smith sat there. And I was saying to me mum at the time, I can't believe they've done their 50th anniversary and they haven't bothered to put Tom Baker in this. This is ridiculous. And I heard him saying, I could be the great curator. And then you hear, well, maybe you will. And I actually had that moment of, oh my God. That was him. That was him. And I thought, I've never done that.
Wasn't it? It was.
That was the one.
I think that was the biggest gift that was given to Doctor Who fans.
It was.
Ever.
We loved it. We'll thank him forever for that.
Nobody expected it. Kept it secret, which is unusual these days. Social media did really well. It kept it secret. And then that moment, brilliant. Absolutely awesome.
He was on screen for 1.5 minutes, and instantly he was the Doctor again.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how long he really was special. Right. I expect you probably be a couple of Tom Baker ones in this one. So we'll go for your top 5 stories / episodes, because these days we have a lot of episodes that are one story done, and of course in the classic series it was spread over weeks.
That's right. Yeah, I've kept it to stories to make it easier, but yeah. So I found myself thinking, well, have I got 5 that could be in the modern series? And I actually found 5 that I would put in there. So, but all my top 5 are all classic stories.
Okay. Number 5 then.
Remembrance of the Daleks.
Wow.
I was at school. I was 11 years old, starting to really get into Doctor Who, and this one blew my mind. And we were talking about it at school all the time. It was like, oh, what's going to happen at this cliffhanger? I thought all the cliffhangers were really good in that one. The Dalek floating up the stairs. I'm like, they're not supposed to do that. And I loved that story. And there was, even watching it back the years later, little moments in it. The little girl at the gates doing the 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a Doctor. Just brilliant writing. As Ben Aranovich, wasn't it, who wrote it? And oh, this is great. This is stuff we haven't seen in ages. This sort of level. So I because it made such an impact on me, I've gone for that.
Okay, and number 4.
One of the first ones I ever watched on the VHS. It was Revenge of the Cybermen.
Okay.
Because I loved the sort of slightly uncomfortable setting where there's only a few people, everyone else has been killed off, and you're sort of in a very sort of cramped environment almost, and you can't get off because the machine doesn't work to get you off the planet. They haven't got the TARDIS, and there's something familiar about what's happening, and then of course we find out it's the Cybermen. Only a few of them, but it only takes a few in the Planet of Gold. And the humour in it as well with Sarah, Harry, and the Doctor. I was laughing myself silly, and that was one of the first ones I remember ever watching. And
I think those 2 episodes that you've put in at number 4 and 5, probably the main reason why I would play with my friends in in the playground at school, and we played Daleks versus Cybermen.
Yeah,
Did you ever do that?
I did. Oh yes, we did enjoy that. Yeah. Secondary school, they looked at you funny when you did that, but primary school, you're fine.
Yeah, primary school. It was primary. I
Yeah.
didn't do it in high school. Number 3.
The Mind Robber.
Oh, right, okay.
I mean, I realized I didn't have a black and white episode, and I love so many of them. But this one is one of the ones I keep going back to because I think it was so clever.
Yeah.
Taking themselves out of reality, which meant the writers could do whatever they wanted. Anything from fiction, throw it in. And I thought Patrick Troughton, Fraser, and Wendy were just phenomenal in that.
Yeah.
And the idea of it, it was all done on wordplay and picture play. And Fraser leaving during the production, how do you get around it? You just put a different actor in and give him a reason that the doctor gets his face wrong when he has to do the puzzle. There we go. It's so simple, and it worked so brilliantly. And no one batted an eyelid. Oh, the doctor just got his face wrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't like what's happened to Jamie.
Yeah. It was a cracking episode. Number 2.
Talons of Weng Chiang.
Not many people mention that one in the top 5. I can tell you that.
I bet it's a popular one. I think it's probably the one I've watched the most, apart from maybe number 1 when we get to it. But this one just keeps. I mean, apart from Mary Whitehouse ruining the rat for everybody because it was too scary what they had in mind and they had to do it that way. So imagine what it would have been like if they had the rat they wanted. But the story itself, genius, absolute genius, and it's the Philip Hinchcliffe years, which were just wonderful.
Okay, so we will go now for your big one, the number 1 story.
Pyramids of Mars. Always been my favourite.
We kind of concluded that in Shooty's first season, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
It was good. My son, who edits all this, he's 15, been into Doctor Who for a couple of years now, and probably I think it was either the Genesis of the Daleks or it might have been Pyramids of Mars, the first episode he watched of Classic Era, because we were watching the new season. We knew what was coming after we saw the end of sorry, not a common what the title of the episode was now, but basically we as soon as we saw what was going on, I gotten to watch Pyramids of Mars, so we kind of knew
who it was dealing with.
Yeah. But yeah, go on, tell me a bit more about why you like that so much.
The idea of Sutekh, the god of death, someone more powerful than the Time Lords, and suddenly released from all of this prison. And I thought the idea of the Egyptian connection, the mummies, the pyramid, it's just like, oh, this is how you do an Egyptology story in space. How genius. And Tom was at his absolute peak at that point. So was Liz, and the dynamic they worked, and even the concept of them landing in the wrong time when this was going to be Unit HQ from the Priory that burned down, and they're the ones who burned down the Priory. Is there's so many little nods from then on. But the story itself, and then playing the puzzle to get to the prison at the end as well. There was just wonderful moments in that.
Yeah, there was. Right, we've got one more top 5 to do, and this time we are looking for your favourite. I'm going to call them adversaries. So we're talking favourite aliens, monsters, or just other Time Lords, or any adversary, anyone that's against the Doctor. What's your number 5?
5 is the only new one, because most of the new ones I don't think have had that good an enemy, but this one did. That was the Vashnarada, the library. The idea that a shadow could be so dangerous and
eat fried chicken.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I thought that was they finally found a terrifying enemy.
Yeah, I always
look at your shadow, and if it was in the wrong place or you didn't have one.
Do you jump when you see a shadow in KFC?
Well, I must admit, there's people who stand closer to the window than usual.
Number 4.
this one, I suppose, encompasses new and old, actually. Never saw this story. I've seen the odd episode that exists, and I've been told much about it by my dad, who did watch it. This is Celestial Toymaker.
Okay.
The concept of this powerful character who creates games and puzzles for people to play or they die. I thought it was a wonderful companion to the sort of usual enemies you get. This was a fun sort of with a fake smile and what I've seen of Michael Gough playing it, he was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen Michael Gough in anything else, this is actually toy making. They're all looking at me like, and of course they brought it back with Neil Patrick Harris, and I thought, will they get it right though? And actually, I thought they did.
They did.
He was excellent.
He was really good. I was the same as you. Are they going to manage to do this right? And he played it wonderful, didn't he? He really.
I thought the puppet thing where he has with the Doctor and all the companions that have died. I thought that's the sinister toy maker that we needed to see. Yes, good, they've got it.
Is it number 3 now?
Yeah. I was toying with this one, but I think I went for the Drashigs.
Okay.
In the hope that we might see them again, because back then it was all puppets and not terribly convincing puppets. But if they were to come back now with the CGI and the technology we've got, they would be terrifying, because the idea that there was this creature that they put in a machine and miniaturized, but if it ever got out, it would destroy the planet. Yeah. And the noise they used to make in the swamplands when they come out and hear this terrifying roar. When I first watched that as a kid, I was like, actually, they are quite scary, even though the puppets themselves weren't terribly good. But the idea of what the Drashigs are, and they just home in on your sense, and just you've got no chance of escaping, even through the machine. And that's in the Carnival Monsters. They were tracking him through the machine.
Okay then, Mark. So here's your opportunity. I don't know whether Russell T Davies takes any notice of this show, or he might do. He might like to hear what the fans think. So just in case he does, do you want to make a bit of a go for it? Tell him to bring them back.
Absolutely. TARDIS lands in a swamp. From then on, they are going to be chased completely throughout the whole episode. You can't get away. Presumably, they can't get back to the TARDIS. Maybe it sinks in the water. Russell, you've got the most frightening animal in the universe, as it was told by the Third Doctor. And them on the loose against any of the Doctors now would still be just as terrifying with the technology you've got. It would be amazing.
There you go.
The scariest monster ever.
There's your claim. We got it. Number 2.
The Zygons.
Oh, yes.
I was thinking that for years and years. I thought they were such a good monster. Why did they never come back? And now they have, of course. We've had the Zygon inversion. We've had the Day of the Doctor in there as well. Because they were underused. I thought, they'd bring the Daleks and Sontar and Cybermen back. But these things were fabulous and must be great for actors as well, because you can play 2 different parts as the same person, one evil, one good. And the idea they could just turn themselves into look like anyone else.
Yeah.
But really, they're just big suckery monsters. Loved it. The whole Loch Ness thing as well, just to throw that into the mix. Brilliant.
It's very good. And this is the big one now. We know what most people pick, but what's your number 1?
I may be a one-off here. I'd be surprised if anyone else ever picked this. But this was something that has to date only ever made 1 appearance. And it was brief, so brief that some people might not even remember it. It's in the 5 Doctors. It's the Raston Warrior robot.
Okay. I don't remember that.
No. Well, when John Pertwee is doing his bit, he's trying to get into the tower. He's with Sarah Jane. They get to like a cave entrance, and there's this silver thing in a bodysuit that the Doctor recognizes and tells him to not move a muscle because it reacts to movement. And this thing just jumps into the air and vanishes, and then reappears over here. You never know where it's going to be. And the only way you can stop being killed by it is to not move at all. They get out of it because Cybermen come up the hill trying to get them. And this thing takes them all out completely. because its armaments are built in. And it just
What,
destroys the whole troop of Cybermen.
do you want Russell to bring them back as well?
Yeah, I think if we don't know where they came from, because obviously in the Five Doctors they just picked up random monsters from somewhere and put them in Gallifrey into the games. So it'd be good to find out where they've come from. The whole backstory, go to the planet or whoever invents the Raston Warrior robot, and it would be it'd be like an episode of the Crystal Maze. You wouldn't be able to move for most of it in case one's there. It'd be wonderful trying to get out of the scenarios to beat it.
Interesting choice, and interesting also that the Cybermen or Daleks didn't get into your top 5.
No, it's the same reason the Angels didn't. They've been overused.
Right. Okay.
I think if the Angels had just stayed at Blink, they'd have been number 1 or 2.
Okay.
But
So,
we've all had too much of the Angels now. They've used it every chance they can get them. It's
yeah,
just diluted the effect now.
it was the first time they came. There was amazing. That was one hell of an episode. Right. Before we play a game, I'm going to ask you the big question. The question that I like to hear off everybody. I'm interested. What does Doctor Who mean to you?
Oh well, I'm someone with an epic imagination, and Doctor Who is what has been responsible for my imagination growing up and being who I am. A lot of ways, it makes me think creatively. So many of the lessons you don't realize you're learning from Doctor Who. You know, about try and be nice to people. You know, always look for adventure where you can, and I suppose it's why I became an actor as well, because I've done all sorts since. And I think Doctor Who, like Peter Capaldi and like David Tennant have said, that's what made them want to become an actor, and I'm no different to them really. They're the ones who are responsible for me getting into that sort of world.
Would you like to be in Doctor Who?
I'd love to be in Doctor Who. Yeah, absolutely.
I've
Never
been
given up hope of having that call from the showrunner saying, "Come and audition."
I've been an actor myself, and I've been in several things. Yeah, Doctor Who is something I've always said in the background. I would like to be in Doctor Who, and that would be my dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I wouldn't need to act anymore after that.
That's it. If the work dried up after that, I would have, hit my target.
The pinnacle.
So
Right, we're
just
going to play a game.
yeah,
Before we came on air, I explained it briefly, but I'll explain it again for anybody that's not watched the episode before, and I'll use the same example as I gave you before. So, what I've done is I've changed the title of a Doctor Who episode, and I've made it more literal. So, for example, if I was to say a portable light for a fool, that would be Idiot Lantern. So a portable light for a fool, Idiot Lantern. What I need from you is the name of the episode and which Doctor it was.
right.
Okay, so should we go for this? It's a
Let's
bit.
go for it.
Doesn't matter how many you get wrong or right. Bit of fun, right? A scared spider's habitat. I think you mentioned this before.
Scared spiders habitat. The Web of Fear.
Correct. Which Doctor was that?
That was Patrick Troughton.
It was. You did mention that earlier, didn't you?
I've mentioned some of Patrick Troughton's things. I can't remember if I mentioned that one, but I love him.
I think you remembered Web of Fear. Right. A place of worship on a red planet. Sorry, sorry. I read it wrong. A place of worship on a red street.
Place of worship on a red street. This is the Ruby Sunday, is it, or something like that?
It's her episode, yeah.
Yes. The church on Ruby Road.
Correct, yeah.
Yes, that's Shooty Gapper.
It was. Make a decision not to turn right.
Go left. Yeah. No.
You nearly got it.
something like that, isn't it?
Connor in a car. Turn left. So you nearly got it. I'll give you
turn left, go left, turn left. Yeah.
turn left. I'll give you half point for that. And which Doctor was that?
Oh, I think that's Tennant, is it?
It was indeed, yeah. This is an easy one, I think. The hour before 12.
The 11th hour.
Correct. It was a first episode for someone.
Peter Capaldi.
No.
No.
Matt Smith.
Of course it is. Yes. The Prisoner's Hero. Yeah.
This episode you did definitely mention before. Stolen Your Brain.
The Mind Robber. Yes. Yeah. Patrick Troughton.
Yeah. The top of an ancient weapon that has arrived from the stars. You need to think of ancient weapons that were used years ago.
Yes. Cannons and catapults and times arrow.
No. Close to an arrow. A bit more for longer distance than an arrow.
No, this one's got me.
Yeah. Spearhead from space.
Oh, yes.
There you go. Sorry. I wish I could read my own writing. Satan from the ocean.
Sea Devils.
Correct.
John Pertwee.
Yep, that's the one. And we mentioned this earlier as well. So, Egyptian building from the Red Planet.
Pyramids of Mars. With old Tom.
Bad dream in the first ever garden.
Nightmare of Eden.
Correct.
Tom Baker as well.
Correct. To cause alarm to our home planet.
Earthshock.
Correct.
Peter Davison.
Wonderful. And this last one, it gets people, this one usually, but you have to really think about it.
Right.
What Monopoly is. It's not that it's a game. Think about what stands out on Monopoly compared to other board games. When you start a game of Monopoly, what do you think is? What's the first thing that probably pops into your head? Do you want a clue?
Yeah.
So you'd look at your watch, wouldn't you? Because Monopoly is a very
long
game.
Yeah, it's a long game. Yeah.
That's the one. That's the episode title. The long game. Who did the long game?
Matt Smith?
No, nearly. It was Christopher Eccleston.
Chris Eccleston. Yeah.
And that's it for the game. She did quite well there because there's only a couple that I stumped you on.
I couldn't know what a spear was. That was
No, I know it's a hard one because there are so many ancient weapons, but it's like how many ancient weapons are in the title of a Doctor Who episode?
That's it. I was giving through the molding times arrow. No.
Wait, listen, you know what, Mark? It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Oh, it's been wonderful. Thank you.
I've absolutely loved it. Before we go, though, is there anything you'd like to say to the people who are watching, or
enjoy this amazing show of ours? And when you're in your mid-40s, your house and your
oh wow. Oh wow. Thank you for that. Thank you. That's amazing. You got a TARDIS.
Oh, it's taken me. It's my dream since I was little to have a TARDIS, and I finally did it.
Did you build it or did you buy it?
I bought it. There was a chap who used to make them in Hull, and he sent it over on a pallet truck one night, and it got here at 3 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
Wow, what a thing! I didn't notice you got a Dalek there as well.
There was a Dalek, yeah. A friend of mine had that in storage for years before he moved away, and I bought it off him. And the console's a project I work on during COVID when we were all in lockdown. So I started making a TARDIS console.
Well, like I say, it has been a pleasure, and I will see you at Who on the World.
You will indeed. I'll see you in September. Yeah,
and it'll be good. And I look forward to meeting you in person. And again, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for showing us your room. Very interesting indeed. And I'm extremely jealous. The most I've got on my bedroom door, the door is a TARDIS door. Or a sticker. That's good. But that's all I've got.
That counts.
I have a sonic screwdriver in front of my TV, and I've got a little Lego Dalek. And that's about it.
All good.
I used to have loads. And there's a tip. If you've got loads of Doctor Who stuff, don't get into a relationship with someone that you're not going to like eventually.
Yeah. I mean, I had a Doctor Who wedding. We had TARDIS and Dalek Simon at our wedding, and I couldn't be sure my missus was going to like Doctor Who when I met her. And I thought, well, when do I tell her I've got a house full of Doctor Who stuff? And I had a squashy TARDIS in my car that when you sit on it, a dematerialized noise comes out.
Oh,
I'd forgotten to move it, and she sat on it, and it went off. She looked at me. I looked at her and thought, this is the beginning or the end. What is it? And she went, my alarm clock makes that noise. And I thought, you're the one.
Wow. Wow. Oh, yeah, you're a lucky man. You're a lucky man. Well, say hello to your wife for me, and I will see you very soon. And thank you so much for coming on.
No problem. Nice to meet you, Phil.
Take care. Thank you.